Okay.
So we got a red light.
So we're on the camera.
We're gonna go make sure. 3,
And
2. You're on.
All right.
And
So
LTS live.
I guess, yeah. So far the signal is there. Let's hope that holds up. So welcome everybody. It's Saturday morning here. I don't know what time it is where you're at, but we're up and going. We're gonna do some demos here. Talk about a couple things first. So I'm Eric.
I'm Dave.
I'm Vicky.
Vicky's
behind the camera.
The cameras, working them both at the same time. So if you're brand new to how this works, we're going to do a little bit of intro here, who we are and what we do. Then we're going to talk about something, and then Dad's going to do a carving demo. I'm going to do a carving demo, and my eyes are going back and forth.
Yeah.
Do we have people coming in
LTS
yet?
is live training session, so rather than just information, we want to give you a little on-hands training.
So first things first. We've been getting some nice comments on our new background. I put up some cedar fencing, so any of you guys that have been watching for a while know that this is the stuff that I actually use in making a lot of my signs. It works out really well, and it makes a nice backdrop. We're really happy with it. So thank you for all the nice comments on that. Let's see. We have the first announcement we have is the template of the month for the premium members. This is what it is. It's a little bumblebee. It's about 3.5 tall, I think. Does it show up?
Yeah.
And then I carved one inset and I carved one outset, and then I used a little yellow Sharpie for coloring the little parts of the bumblebee. And we were thinking, I kind of like this one better. I think Vicky does the inset one better. And you can always take a little marquee or carve, yeah, or you could carve, eyes and a nose and a mouth on there, put a little happy face on them. But anyway, that's our template of the month for the premium members. Of course, it'll be on the website sometime shortly, so you can order it if you're not a premium member. But all the premium members will get that for the month of July, next month.
I've had a couple people say we're fuzzy, but our internet is good. All is good here. I'm clear as a bell. So
might take a while. Facebook sometimes, though, even when you watch videos on Facebook,
Yep.
sometimes they're fuzzy at first, and then they take a second or a few seconds for it to actually clear up and focus in. So hopefully everything looks good so far. But again, and you guys, anybody that's been watching before, the video will be on YouTube. That's what we're filming here with the other cameras. So the YouTube version of what we're doing will be on, depending on our connection, be on late tomorrow, maybe early Monday.
yeah, another thing too, when I zoom in, it takes a while for it to focus. So that might, and zoom out. So that might be why it's fuzzy also. Ooh,
Okay.
Bob Boyle from Modesto. Hi, Bob.
Bob who?
Boyle.
Bob Boyle. Welcome, Bob.
Hi, Mike.
From Modesto.
Motown.
Yeah, that's our old stomping grounds.
Yeah.
Okay, so anything else that I needed to talk about before Dad goes on to his?
I forgot to bring your
what?
list of announcements.
Yeah. Okay, we'll wing it.
We'll wing it, yeah.
We're good
That's
at
what
that.
we normally do.
We'll wing it. Questions, we'll have a Q&A at the end. So Dad's going to do his demo, and then I'm going to come on and do my demo. Then at the end, probably about 20 minutes of Q&A. So ask away anything about questions about what we do today or anything else we can help with. Just let us know. All right, Dad, are you ready for your
I'm as ready as I'm ever going to be, I
your
guess.
segment? Then I'll get out of the way.
It's been nearly 84 years, but if I'm not ready by now, I probably won't be.
Well, give it your best shot. I know you will.
Okay.
I'll get out of the way and let you do your thing.
Okay, mine's going to be primarily something that we haven't touched on before. Something that's very, very popular nowadays is these bamboo cutting boards or any bamboo product is very, very popular. So I thought, well, I'll do something on a bamboo. See, bamboo by its nature is renewable, so it's kind of like green. But you can carve it, and it carves pretty tough. It's like maybe solid peanut butter. I mean, it just carves great. It carves, in my opinion, better than Clear Heart Redwood. It's really great stuff. Now here's, what are we looking at?
Keep going. Just keep
going.
going.
We're
Oh,
trying.
okay.
We got
Got a little-
Got all kind of action back behind the camera. So
Yeah.
anyway, here's a little template that I made up. Can you see that, Vic?
No, well, I've got.
Yeah,
We're
I'll
trying to
zoom in with,
reconnect on the internet. We've got internet glitches apparently.
Oh, I
this
see.
one.
Okay.
So just keep going. Like,
Here's a little template that I made up real fast, just to give you an idea of what these things can be. They can be gifts. They can hang on the wall as a sign. They can be used as cutting boards. So I made this little thing up real quick, and I'm going to carve it. I'm going to carve it so you can see how easy it carves. This is not a template that's available. It's just something that I threw up. You can carve. You could use our regular letters. Carve anything on here, our regular templates, and carve anything on here. So it doesn't really matter. But I'm going to carve this just to show you how it carves. I'll spray this real quick. I've already got this masking tape on this, just to, well, maybe I'm gonna spray real heavy when I'm getting ready to carve. That's really all I need. It's just something, you can see what I've got here. It's
Okay,
just something
hold it right
so you
there.
can follow
Oh, yeah.
along. You got it?
I see it, yeah.
Okay, now like anything else, when I'm getting ready to carve a sign, I draw lines. So, are you following me on this
I
side?
am. I'm with you.
Okay, I'm just drawing
I
a
think
line.
we've lost our connection on. Well, looks like we might be back on live now. We lost our connection for a few minutes, but those of you that are watching live, you can definitely catch up on the YouTube version because it looks like we're back up and live right now.
Okay, I'm going to use a profile bit on this when I'm carving it. Make sure it's all dry. And I've got the profile bit. I've got the depth set at around 1/8 of an inch. I didn't actually check it with my depth gauge, but I just eyeballed it at around 1/8 of an inch, which is plenty deep enough. So, and I just don't have any power on my router. I wonder why.
Not
Because
plugged
it's
in.
not plugged in.
I'll take care of that.
All right.
Hold on.
I got a plug right here, son.
There you go.
I should have checked that earlier. I'm sorry I didn't.
okay, we are having some internet problems, and yes, it's probably because it's hot. We've been having internet problems.
All right, I'm gonna turn this on. Now I don't use my cheaters like my son does, but I'm gonna carve this all inset. So now I don't carve as much as I used to. In the old days, I used to carve a lot of time. I don't do as much carving as I used to, so if my carving doesn't look quite as perfect as my son, it's because I don't do it as often as I used to. Carving is a lot like shaving. If you don't do it every day or so, you get to where you don't look as good as you could. But I'm gonna try to do all of this inset.
Sorry guys, the internet is in and out, so bear with us.
Yeah, the internet, Vicki just said the internet is in and out. So, now as you can probably see by watching what I'm doing, this stuff really carves nice. Now that's the first time I've ever had that happen. That's part of that chipped out just a little bit. And since it's bamboo, probability is sometimes you're going to get a little chipping on it. So just be a little bit careful sometimes, realizing that since it's bamboo and it's got a bamboo grain to it, it could chip a little bit. So just be a little bit careful when you're carving. It carves pretty nice. This is not the probably isn't the sharpest bit I've ever used, but it's and if you notice, I don't even have the rubber pad underneath this that we normally would use. I'm just going to make an outline on the outside of this little thing that I made up in the. You can see the bamboo is moving a little bit, but it's not. If I had to do it over again, I'd put that rubber underneath it. It's not bad. Okay, now we'll do these letters. Like I said at the beginning, you can do this just with standard letters. This little template I made up is just something I kind of like when I was singing in the computer with my laser. And these letters are 3/4 inch, which are a little difficult to carve. But you can use this, and you can use 1-inch letters, or use 2-inch or 3-inch letters. It wouldn't matter. It depends on the message that you're trying to put on the sign. It could be something like Abigail's room, or just anything that you want to put on the sign. I just made this one up because I thought it was kind of cute. And Eric told me I had to have something to do on the LTS, so this is what I decided to do. I don't do as much anymore online as my super son does, but as long as I'm able to, he showed you how a 14-year-old can do it. So I figured I'd show all the seniors so that you know how you can do it if you're a little older. Alright, that's all I'm going to do as far as the carving. Set this out aside. Give you an idea of what that looks like. Can you see that okay, kids?
Hold on.
Yeah?
Hold it back up, Dave.
What?
Hold it back up.
Okay, hold it back up.
You gotta bear with me. This internet is okay.
You see it all right?
Yep.
All right. I'm just going to brush it off. I'll stand up here so you can get a little bit better view of what I'm doing. That's really all you need. Doesn't have to be anything super duper. Now I'm going to take the masking tape off. I still have to give that just a few seconds to dry.
It won't take long out here.
What?
It won't take long out here.
No. These cutting boards are nice. And you can buy all kinds of stuff that's made out of bamboo now. Bamboo is very, very popular. These cutting boards are pretty nice. Now while that dries, I'm going to set up the sanding board because I could do the sanding on it just with a rubberized backing on it, but I'll set up this sanding board that my son has got made up for me. Guess I only need one of those dogs.
Sorry guys, the internet
I
is
probably
just-
should have had this.
Actually, Dad, that
You're go-
if you put this here, use that spacer on the other end there. That's where it goes.
Oh.
That spacer there.
Okay.
I know you
Well, I
haven't.
just
You haven't done.
give the people
Put
on,
it the other way. There
give
you
the
go.
people on camera the idea that I haven't
Sorry guys, the internet is blinking. I don't
I
know
haven't
what's
done
going
this
on.
quite
but
as much
bear with us.
as my son has. So
There
Hi
you go.
Tammy.
There you go.
that's all I need.
Yep. And the sanders are right down below.
Yeah, I saw that.
Both of them.
I'm gonna put the
That's the rough one.
Yeah, I just need the one. Can you see that?
Yeah. I
Okay.
can see it.
Well, that's all it is. Now that's fast and simple, and it's, you know, you can do it any number of ways, but it just goes to show you what you can do with these cutting boards, and that's all I wanted to do. It isn't anything that's great. Could be done a lot differently. Had I used a 60-degree bit, it would be a little bit wider and darker, but that's the way it can come out. So.
So you gotta fill in some time, Eric.
That's
to
all right.
try to see what we can do about this internet issue.
So that just gives you an idea of what you can do with these.
Those are real popular now too. Those cutting
Yeah,
boards,
those,
those personalized cutting
Anything
boards.
that's bamboo is getting to be really popular. And those cutting boards, and you can get things like, the shape of steaks and
Animals.
animal shaped with the different cuts of meat. And there's just all kinds of things you can do with bamboo. If you'll, there's 2 or 3 bamboo sites online that you can go to Google and do a search for bamboo cutting boards or bamboo products. And you can find a place to, now the bamboo cutting boards themselves are fairly expensive, but if you're making a sign for somebody as a gift, a wedding gift or whatever, whatever the bamboo board costs you, you just add that onto the price of your sign. So it's not really like you have a huge investment. Your customers that are having you carve the sign, or they can buy the bamboo board and bring it to you, one way or the other.
My turn? Am I up?
You're up.
Okay. I guess I'm out of here and you're in.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, folks. Thanks a lot. Just wanted to show you what that bamboo cutting board and how easy it is to carve.
All right. So we got a bit. Again, we have signal now. It is in and out. I apologize, but we will do the best we can here.
Yeah, sorry guys about the.
It will be on the YouTube channel by the end of the weekend.
All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I had a customer write me an email about a week ago, and they had bought a sign from me up in Oatman. They sent me this picture, and they had bought a sign. Dad, you want to handle that to camera? Make sure we're all good there.
Okay, bring it forward because if I touch
They had bought this sign for me several years ago up in Oatman, and they wanted a duplicate of it. I think they've refinished this a couple times, and they just wanted me to see if I could duplicate it. So that's what I'm going to do today. I've got the ribbon shape. These are 2 inch and 1.5 on the top line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a layout on this thing, but this is going to be a different layout than what you guys are normally seeing me do, and I'll explain that. If you, again, if you look at this picture and you look at the way on the top sign, the way the J is as compared to the rest of the letters, That's what I call doing a layout on centers.
I'm not gonna zoom in it because every time I touch it, it
That's
messes
fine.
up,
You
so.
you guys that are live, you'll be able to see this. But trust me when I say that the J and the A, they're not on the same
Let me
baseline.
see.
They're centered. So, oh, you're gonna do it that way?
Right.
Oh,
Check that
there
out,
you go.
see?
See how the A is centered on the J? It's not all on a bottom baseline. So I'm going to show you how I go about doing that. And I do that once in a while for a lot of different reasons. But the main reason is on a board like this where I'm kind of limited on my width. Then what I'll do is I will basically draw a line. There's about my center line for my J, which I only need over here actually. And now I'm going to eyeball and center that M. And that's about center there. So don't think that you always have to have your letters just on a baseline. They actually, and I talked to a sign painter, and he said this is actually a much preferred way in the sign industry to do your layout. So everything is kind of centered on each other. Now what I have to do here is I have the little beer mug. I'm going to put at this end. It's going to be a pretty tight layout actually. I've got the little Cocapelli that's going to go at this end. And I'm going to... These are all going to... These are both going to be inset, so I don't have to worry about putting a background around them. And then the goes in there. That gives me enough room for my cloud there. I'm going to kind of eyeball center that top to bottom. And then I know I need over here, I need enough room to get around the end of that S. And a little bit of room for my apostrophe. And then I'm just going to kind of work backwards, making sure I've got enough room to get around those letters because they're going to be outset. So I put my J down here and then I moved everything up and everything's kind of centered in the middle of the board. That way, and what I was talking about as far as when you're limited in space, remember we're going to have a chamfer on this as well, and I've got to have enough room to get that cloud. So by dropping these down, it doesn't crowd it here at the bottom when I go to make a cloud. So I use it every once in a while. I'll use this layout technique just to give me a little bit of extra room for my cloud. That looks pretty good right there actually. What'd you do with that ink, Dad?
In the bag, goes down there next to the vacuum.
Yeah. I'm gonna grab one of these. Blinking out again.
Yeah.
So,
We sure got you on the beat camera.
all right. So I didn't bring any paper, doggone it, to lay down on my. Thank you. Just try not to spray my bench any more than absolutely necessary. So like Dad said, just be kind of sparing. The wood I'm using here, by the way, is not cedar, it's actually redwood. And I'm going to talk more about that on upcoming videos. Probably on Monday's video, I'm going to talk about this piece of redwood that I'm using here and how that came about. Because I normally don't have that available to me. Alright, so let's take a look at that layout. So that's how the sign laid out. So the J is down here and then the rest of it is centered on the J. So let's do some carving. I got some time here. Get this stuff out of the way. That'll be dry in a matter of seconds. Oh, thank you, Dave. So unlike Dad, I am going to use the rubber pad. I don't like my board sliding around on me. Now I just use this double rubber pad But what you do have to do is make sure there's not a bunch of sawdust on the bench. Otherwise, it doesn't work that well. But with that double rubber pad, that should pretty much keep it from sliding around. So, like Dad did, I'm going to draw some lines on there. I don't know what I did with my other pencil, but I'm going to draw some lines. But I'm just using, bless you. I'm just using the edge of the board. So I'm going to start off with a profile bit, just like Dad did. Yeah. What'd you do with that stiff bristle brush, Dad?
It's in the drawer. Wrong drawer.
Wrong drawer. Like Rocky and Bullwinkle. Wrong hat. Got it. Alright. That dated me. Alright. So I've got the profile bit in. I like to clamp my cord a little bit so it's not moving around too much. Oops, I need my cheaters. Now I'm going to turn the router around a little bit different than what Dad had. Try and get that cord out of the way so you guys can see a little bit better. Alright. I'm going to carve these images first. Everybody good over there?
You got 10 minutes.
So far.
Well,
A little bit deeper.
Still having an issue?
Yeah, it's going off now.
you might as well keep filming because I'm not going to be able to see questions.
Right. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead and keep carving since we won't be able to do a Q&A at the end.
I'll try to sneak in one if I can see it.
Yeah, if you can find one. Yeah. Let me know when it's about a quarter till, babe. Thank you. Okay, so that's all the profiling I'm going to do. Because I wanted to save time to show you what the background is going to look like. So I'm gonna switch routers, put in my or switch over to my other router that's got my what we call the background or the cleanup bit in it, which doesn't have it in there. I gotta switch it over. Dadgummit. This is the chamfer, the 45-degree chamfer bit. So I'm gonna have to swap that out. So here's a little trick that you guys haven't seen me do before. Number one, it's not plugged in right now. But how I have to switch the bits if you guys know anything about these routers, this has a spring-loaded little button in that got lost a long time ago. I did it one time, and what that does, it's a shaft lock that locks this shaft in place. Well, one time I was doing it, and bing, it just took off on me. So here's how I've kind of okie rigged that whole idea. I took an old hex head wrench, and taped it to my deal. So what I do is I just use that as a shaft lock while I loosen my bit. Again, the router's unplugged right now, so there's no danger of that. Anyway, I hadn't planned on showing you that, but it just kind of worked out. So let me grab my little 90-degree V-groove here. That's the one I use for my cleanup. I put that in there, and then I can tighten that thing back up. Anyway, in case you got that, anyway, that's just my little makeshift shaft lock, and it's always right there on the router. Makes it kind of actually convenient. Not quite as convenient as that spring-loaded deal that it came with, but that only lasted a year or two, and then it finally kind of went bad. All right, now we're good to go there. So I wanted to, especially for you new people that haven't seen me do the cleanup or the background before, I wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of how I do that. So hopefully, let me set the depth here. I'm going to go about 1/4 of an inch, somewhere around there, 1/4 of an inch deep. So now I have to take out this stuff inside the Cocopelli. Got to be a little careful there because the bit will hit the side real easy. Still not deep enough. Okay. So you guys got to see me make a mistake. If you look real close at that top of that A, I nicked it with that cleanup bit that I just did. I don't normally get to show you guys that stuff, but now I got to plug my other router in, and I got to fix that. But that's the cool thing about having a multiple router set up. I'm just going to fix that real quick and let you guys watch. So again,
Hopefully, again, we're blinking.
yeah. Well, hopefully, I don't know. Can you zoom in on that A, right? That top corner of that A. I just barely nicked that thing. See it, Dad? Okay.
Zoomed in on it.
It'll probably show up.
It's hard to see. But
It's hard to tell on the camera, but it'll probably show up. So what I'm going to do,
Can
guys?
you turn your router around so that they get a view of where the cutter is? So you carved that whole thing with the router.
Yeah, you were backwards.
Oh.
See, that way.
Well, I was trying to keep the cord out of the way.
I know.
I had it in the base
You can't
wrong.
turn the base on the
Yeah,
motor?
I can actually.
How many routers do you own?
How many routers do I own? I think we've got somewhere around 10 or 12 at any one time.
That was Michael Nunez that said.
Maybe we've got more. I don't know. Kind of lost track. Gosh, I wish you guys had told me that before, but that's all right.
Well, I just didn't want to interrupt you.
No, you should have, but that's all right.
And I can't tell because it's blinking in and out.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Well, you'll get to see this at least.
Yeah, that's good. Now they can see what you're doing.
But that's another example of why I always kind of try and leave a little bit of black going around those letters. That's another perfect example of why I do that. In case I do nick something, I've got a little bit more room to work with to be able to go back in and touch it up. And fact is, once it's all sprayed and sanded off, nobody will know that there was a little black line on there anyway. All right, so where are we at in time? Okay, we're doing okay.
Yeah.
Let me... So now what I want to do, I want to show you guys what this looks like when it's all done. So bear with me just a second here. I got to set up my sanding board again. And you're probably wondering, well, it's not done. Well, fortunately, this was just an extra because I carved one yesterday, got it all carved and sprayed. So now I'm going to sand it off and show you guys. It's kind of like a cooking show. Like the souffle is already done.
Set it and forget it.
Fresh out of the oven. So let me set up my sanding situation here, and I'll sand that off. Yes, I have done this a few more times than you have, Dad.
What's that? The board, the setting up?
Setting up the sanding board.
Today, I've done it once.
Yeah, setting up the sanding board. Of course, Dad's told me how to do it from day one. So, all right, I can move that. I'll get this out of the way. So I'm going to do a rough sand first. By the way, that bit that I was using, that I just used on there, in case I didn't say it, that was a 90-degree V-groove. That's the one we do the cleanup with a background bit. So now I'm going to use a 40 grit, and I'm going to sand the back. And you notice I go cross grain when I sand the back because the back just doesn't need to be really smooth like the front. Now here's where I would use a rubber stamp. For you guys, use a rubber stamp or some kind of identification. I like a rubber stamp. I don't have mine in here right now, but this is a good place to put a rubber stamp on. So now I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to use the same belt, and I'm going to sand just with the grain now. Okay, now you'll notice I didn't take off all the ink. I just took off about, 90% of it. Now I'm going to go back with my sander, and this has got like a 175, I think, grit on my little armadillo sander, and I'll sand off the rest. Now we'll blow it off and see what it looks like. Not too bad. Got a couple of little high spots in there, but you guys have seen me do this a time or two, I'm sure. Few little white spots on there. But basically, it's pretty much ready to go. Now, if I wanted to, I could use a yellow marker and do the foam in yellow or white even. But basically, that's how it comes out. And I really, actually, I prefer the look of this layout where this line is centered on this line. I don't do it all the time, but I kind of prefer it that way. So that's pretty much it. Now I got to still make the bottom part of that one that had their names on it, but that's pretty much all there is to it, you guys. So what I'm going to do now is
Gonna close it up.
we've got a couple announcements I want to make. I'm just going to tear this down. Dad's going to come back over, and we got a couple big announcements that we want to make. Run past you guys and see what you think. Again, I know
Do
we're
it
not.
while we are actually on live.
We are on live right at the
Yeah,
moment.
yes.
So
If
come
we
on
got
over,
any
Dad.
viewers left.
Yeah, there's a few.
Yeah. Grab your chair if you would, Dad, because I moved your chair out. Oh. So you can come over and sit down. So if you guys have questions, bless you. If you have questions, let us know. We got a few minutes left before we have to sign off. Dad, would you hand me my cup there?
I guess I will.
Thank you. You can have a drink if you want. Ice water.
No, I've got my bubble cup down.
Okay. Okay.
Down here is full of ice water.
We are getting nothing as far as questions.
So, you guys that tuned in live and tried to stay with us, we so apologize. I don't know. Last month, our
The last couple of months, it's been
our signal has
fantastic.
been right on the money. Today, and I don't know, it might have something to do, but we have had internet issues
all week.
out here
All week.
with
yeah.
our cable company.
Yeah, we had
That's
one
our-
day where we were offline for the whole
All
day.
day.
Yeah, like 8 hours. Yeah.
So I'm glad I'm on this side so they can't see my frustration.
I'm glad you are too. I
And
usually really get freaked out about this
Yeah.
and pissed, but I kind of roll with it now, especially since we know that everybody's going to watch it on YouTube anyway, or hopefully you will.
And after 85 years, who gives a damn?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
many more things to be
If
upset
it
with.
works good, it works. If it doesn't work, hey, we'll do something else.
That's why we always have the backup plan.
Darren Lindsay says, have you ever had an instance where you did a large background with the letters in an island?
The large background with the letters in an island. I think I know what you're talking about, Darren, but I'm not really sure. I've made stuff before. In fact, I just did a collaboration where I did inset letters on a big island that had background around it, but I've also done the opposite where like, say for instance, if this was a big board and I cut like a silhouette of an oval or a square and then did outset letters within that, I have done that.
Well, and I've made them where, like especially on my country music signs, where I go real deep on the cloud, and
Yeah.
make an extra large cloud. I
On
go
this part,
real
right
deep
here.
on the cloud, and then of course it's a lot bigger cloud, and then I come back up and do this at the regular depth so that it looks more like an island on there. So
Yes.
if that's what you're talking about.
Yes.
I've
So
done
you might
those.
be over a quarter of an inch on the actual line
Yeah,
of the cloud.
3/8 of an inch deep.
Yeah, and then come back to a
And then
quarter
come
for
back
this,
to a quarter for the cleanup.
which gives it almost a three-dimensional look. So you might be talking
We
about
got a
that.
couple more. Deborah Oceanbine says, do you have information about making a drawing box? Get an old refrigerator, Deborah.
Yeah, that's what we do, Deborah. I got an old refrigerator or freezer, and you can use a stand-up or a chest type, and I just gutted it out. I completely gutted it out, and it's insulated, and I use that for a drying cabinet, and it works amazingly. Put a little incandescent light in there, little 25-watt incandescent light, and it makes it great.
Keeps it nice and warm.
Yeah, in the wintertime. And actually, the other thing is, too, like we've had 110, 115 degrees weather out here right now. It actually helps keep my paints and stuff cool. I turn off the light, and it helps to keep it cooler in there than it does at room temperature outside.
Okay.
So it works both ways.
Clark from National Design. Sorry, my eyes are blurry.
Clark Ward, how are you?
How much did it cost for all that beautiful wood behind you? A lot.
No, These things were only about $3 for a 6-foot piece. So, and I think how many pieces did you buy when you went down?
28.
28 times.
And 3 of those was for me.
Yeah. So 25 of them times less than $3, like $75 for this wall right here.
All right.
Not bad.
Dennis Andrews, have you done any portraits?
Portraits. I have done portraits. Not lately though, Dennis. It hasn't been something that I've done, but
You did
I
that
don't.
one of
Minimum
that
on the
mini
laser.
putt stuff.
Well, that wasn't really a portrait, though.
Well, they were kind
a
of though.
character.
It was a
Yeah.
silhouette portrait
Alright.
kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Okay, boys, you got 10 minutes to do your announcements.
Okay, so announcement number 1. We have been getting questions over the last 6 to 8 months. Are we going to do a seminar again like we did last October? And what we're doing is we are
The answer is
considering.
no. We're not
we
doing
are-
one like we did last October.
We are considering it, but here's the thing. It'll be different this year. Number 1, we'll be doing it right here in this studio. This is on our property, so we have complete control. Not that it was bad last time, but we want more control, make it easier for everybody. So it'll be here, right where we're sitting. Number 2, 3 people only at a time. So we're going to try one if there's interest. We're going to do one in October, and it will be 3 people at a time. An 8-hour session with us 3. So basically one-on-one, 8 hours. There'll be a barbecue lunch involved. You'll get a free T-shirt, and there'll be other things too.
I always make a goodie bag.
Yeah, Vicky always puts stuff together. And number 3, the cost of that is $250 for the day. So that's one-on-one with me and Dad and everybody. And the way we're planning it is one station. And any of you that were here in October, you know things at
Not
one
too much
point.
information.
It kind of got kind of crazy, but what we're going to do is we're going to have everything done right here at the bench, and everybody will get a chance to do every piece of thing that we'll do, and you'll make a sign.
And
And
you'll do it exactly the way we do it.
yeah, exactly the way we do it. You do it, not me, but you. Yeah. Anyway, so that's basically all we have. We're thinking sometime in October. We don't have dates. Find out if there's people that are interested. If there are, again, 3 spots only. That's it. If we don't get 3, then we'll probably cancel it and do it some point in the future. If there are more than 3 people interested, we may do another one after that. This is simply kind of throw the feeler out there, see if you guys are interested. So let us know. Email Vicky or email me if that's something of interest to you. Again, we don't have dates. What's the matter?
Oh, nothing. Now we've got a perfect signal.
Well, of course we do.
We're almost
Yeah,
done.
yeah. So that was the one big announcement is we will be possibly doing a class seminar.
Yes, Mary, you guys can come together. It's just $250 each.
Yeah, per person, however many people come. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2, next month, finally, we're able to put this together, and it has nothing to do with you guys, but I'm throwing it out there for a reason. Dad and I are finally going to Alaska to do some fishing with my sister and my brother-in-law. We'll be gone for 6 days, and we're going to catch some halibut and salmon and all that stuff. But here's the deal. When we fly out, and this is July 20th, we're going to have a 3-hour layover in Seattle, and then get on a plane and fly up to from about 2:30 in the afternoon to 5:30 in the afternoon. We have a 3-hour window in Seattle at the airport there. And if there's anybody in that area that wants to come up and hang out with us, shake our hands, and meet us, I don't know why you would, but if you do, we're going to be
nice
there.
for you to shake their hands.
It would be nice for us to meet you. That's exactly right. So if you want to, we're going to be there. We'll find a way to make it happen.
David Nunes says, you should do a few seminars, Dave. The customers will come. You are an amazing person.
He must be talking to Eric.
No, I think they're
No, he
talking to
said
you.
Dave.
I think they're talking to you. So anyway, yeah, if it works out, and that was David Nunes. If it works
No,
out,
Michael Nunes.
Oh, Michael Nunes. I'm sorry.
Talking about Dave.
He was talking about Dave. We will be doing ones in the future. If it turns out you guys like this format and you're interested, then we'll be doing it.
We probably will never again go back to 8 or 9 or 10
No,
people.
that was
We'll probably
false.
keep it at 3 people.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just felt like that
8
was
or 9 people and 3 seminars in 2 weeks. That was.
it was crazy. It was crazy. So
Well, it
it's
just-
just going to be. We want you guys to get more out of it, and we think that having just 3, and the 3 of us
More
one-on-one
one-on-one.
for 8 hours straight, you guys are going to get much more out of it. I think.
This is the way we trained people to carve signs when
Oh.
we had people in the shop. This is the way we trained them.
Yeah.
We didn't have a group. We trained them kind of one-on-one.
Tom Watson, he says,
Tom.
I want to come by and see you at SeaTac. I'm only 20 minutes away. So
Awesome.
contact
Tom,
me, Tom.
I was hoping that I'd get a chance to meet you, Tom. I'll be the one in the purple wearing the Viking garb. You can
Oh.
wear your sea chickens garb if you want.
I'll be in my Niner shirt.
I would
I'll
love
be
to
at
meet
home
you,
taking
Tom.
care of business.
Yeah, Vicky's gonna hold down the fort.
Yeah.
But she's going to Carmel this coming week, so
Pacific
Dad
Grove, yeah.
and I have to watch this stuff while she's gone next week. And
And
you're gonna be
Rach,
going.
yeah.
Rachel's gonna be here to help us. So Vicky will be gone
I'm
from
going to
Tuesday.
the ocean. You guys are going to the ice cubes.
Well, we're going to the ocean too.
Yeah,
but it's
ice cubes.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, no
you're not
big
going to be
deal.
fishing. We will.
No, I'm going to be.
Anyway, so
Shopping.
would love to meet you, Tom. I hope you can make it by. So get in contact with me, and we'll exchange cell numbers or something, and make sure that we can hook up. I'll find out.
Yeah,
find
we've
a way to
already
do
got
it.
our tickets bought, so
Yeah.
we're going to Alaska.
Yeah, and we'll be in Seattle.
They can't come home unless they bring fish.
Yeah, we'll be bringing hopefully a lot of salmon and halibut back. So that
Morning,
was.
son.
Morning, Ryan. So that was the first, the 2 big announcements. Gosh, I can't think of this next week. Monday, I think Wednesday we're going to do a big sign carvers of the day.
I agree, Michael.
On Wednesday we're going to do a big sign carvers of the day. And then on Friday we're going to I'm going to have Eric back in here, and we're going to hopefully finish up his sign on camera, so you guys can see how that turned out. We've been getting a lot of really good response off of that.
This is amazing. We're doing like the
Now
last
it's perfect.
15 minutes. Everything's perfect. Ah,
And we've actually got people that
Yeah.
are kind of chiming in
Yeah.
now. But anyway,
Well, I'm glad they stayed with us through all the outages
know.
and
Yeah,
waiting
yeah.
for it to
James
come back
Raymond
on.
from
That
Indiana
just
Christian
showed
Center.
we've got some pretty good people out there.
we've got some
Yeah.
great people out there.
I think we should just go a little over just because we should.
Well, if we've got questions,
You
come
guys,
in.
if you've got questions and we have to go over that hour a little bit, we are willing if you are willing too. So, any questions?
I have a question for you guys. When Dad was carving, being as we don't have our lavalier mic right now, we're using it kind of from up above as a boom mic. I'm curious if any of you are out there that are watching right now. While Dad was carving, he was talking quite a bit. Could you guys hear him? I don't know. He talks kind of loud anyway. We both
Well,
do.
yeah, but I don't know because of the blinking in and out. Most of the time it was off.
Yeah.
Deborah Oceanbine, I don't know if that's Deborah or Kim, but what kind of finish do you use on the bamboo?
Oh,
You got-
Well, you have to be careful, because if it's going to be used as a cutting board,
Yeah.
then you have to use a food safe. So do a Google search for food safe finish for cutting boards.
yeah. I think they. a
That's
lot of-
all I can say. I can't tell you what kind of finish to use. If it's going to be used for just a sign, then any kind of finish. But if it's going to be used in contact with food, be sure you get a food safe one. And I can't recommend one right now. I should have done some research on that. I'm sorry I didn't.
And I'm not sure really whether I would think that if it is going to be used as a cutting board, I'm not sure whether you'd want to use that black spray. You might want to leave it just natural color if it's going to be used as a food safe thing.
Well, if you
I'm
put a
not sure.
finish over it, it should be.
I'm not
it should
sure,
be
but-
reasonably
You
safe.
better
but it's,
research that.
Yeah.
Deborah says it is her. Kim's out doing something else.
Oh,
Adam Adams says, how do you recommend cleaning your polyurethane brush after you use it?
you know what I do? if you're using, well, now they make water-based and oil-based. If you're using oil-based, what I do is literally leave it set. I just have a metal can, and I leave it set in there for 4, 5, 6 hours. Then I come back, leave it set in paint thinner or mineral spirits, and then I come back later and then wash it out again with clean mineral spirits and do it that way. And that's always worked pretty well for me.
We got Ian Cook says hello from Northern Ireland.
Yeah, I thought Ian was from Ireland.
Ireland.
Ireland. Hi, Ian. Maybe someday we'll get to Ireland and go do some fishing over there.
I want to go fishing in Ireland one day.
I would love to.
That's on my bucket list.
Dennis Andrews says, have you ever used epoxy for the finish?
You know, back in the old days, you did use like a Decapore
Right.
or an Envirotex, which is a two-part,
Yeah.
a two-part heating up type of epoxy. But man, you really have to know what you're doing because of the bubbles and the temperature, the air temperatures, the humidities. Those guys that use the epoxies, it's down to a science.
Yeah, it's
And
almost
we have
like you need a special room to do that in,
Yeah.
especially because it's messy.
or at least in the old days you did.
In
Maybe
the
it's
old days.
different formulations
Yeah,
now. Maybe a lot easier.
Yeah, but we don't use it at this time.
Yeah.
Okay. Ryan Roten says, when doing a colored sign, do you still do the edge in black or do you use the same color as the background?
You can do either. I like the black edge, even if, like, for instance, if this was red
Good morning,
back
Donna.
here, I still like a black edge just because it gives it a contrast, and I like a black edge simply because it makes it kind of gives it an outline and makes the shape of the board stand out. But I've done many of them where the people wanted the scalloping red or yellow or blue or whatever.
Right.
So I've done it both ways. For me, when I was up in Oatman carving on site, I pre-made my boards and all of them were black edge. So even if they wanted the background a different color, they got a black edge, and I just told them that ahead of time for preparation purposes.
Adam says, thank you. He says, I'm also from Northern Ireland.
Adam is
Yeah.
too? Wow. Two people
Awesome.
from Northern Ireland.
Chris Singleton says, hey, Eric, Dave, Vicky, looking forward to buying a set of bits soon. Just purchased the base plate. Love doing business with you. Videos are great. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
All right. Thank you guys for being so patient. Again, apologies.
And now we've got a perfect signal.
Now we have a perfect signal. And it's time to say goodnight, Gracie.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, any of you that are watching live, the whole thing, I'm going to start posting it. As soon as we're here, I'm going to try and get it uploaded by the end of the weekend. That's always kind of my goal. So thanks so much, guys. Let us know if you have any feedback, any questions, anything we can help with, let us know.
Anything we can do to improve it, because we'll have another one next month.
Yeah.
This one is done. It's in the past. We can't change it. Next month, if we can improve it, let us know.
Well, yeah, we
Hopefully
the last few months have been awesome. I mean, it's been great.
Yeah. So.
But anything that we do, having a router one way or the other, anything that we do that would help you to learn, that's what this is about.
Okay. All right.
All right, and if anybody's interested or has questions about a possible seminar, we do not have all the details worked out, so
Pretty much the ones that I just mentioned.
yeah, that's about it. We won't do much more planning unless we know we've got interest.
Yeah. So
We're getting a lot of thumbs up and smiley faces. I don't know if it's from the same person going crazy, but that's awesome. Smiley.
Okay, so write to Vicky with Dave Signs at gmail.com or me, Eric at makeawoodsign.com. Let us know if you have any questions, comments, and then again the video will be up hopefully by the end of the weekend. So
All right.
everybody have a great weekend.
Thanks, Mary.
We'll have coffee and questions on Monday again, Monday, Wednesday, and then another newsletter next Friday.
Okay.
So everybody have a great weekend
Again, I will be gone from Tuesday
for the whole week.
through till Monday.
Sunday.
So if anybody needs quotes international, I will try to get back to you as quickly as I can because I will be checking my email online. So
Okay.
all right, you guys have a great week.
See you guys.
The smiles are from Michael Nunes. You guys are amazing. Thanks,
Thank you,
guys.
Michael.
La vista,
Bye
baby.
bye.
Bye.